Have you ever had someone next to you who seemed friendly, kind even, but on an instinctive level you just felt that something didn't quite add up? That subtle discomfort, that intuition suggesting something dark is hidden behind that smile. Carl Jung, one of the greatest scholars of the human mind, spoke of a fundamental concept, the shadow. The shadow is that hidden part of us that we deny but which often manifests in the way we treat others. When someone feels hate, envy, or resentment, they tend to hide it but never completely. The signs are there, subtle, yes, but unmistakable. Today, I'm going to reveal 8 unmistakable signs that will expose if someone close to you secretly harbors hostile feelings, even if they do everything they can to hide them. And listen up, because sign number 8 is the most insidious of all, and it could completely turn the way you see certain people upside down. Drawing on Jungian psychology, we'll arm you with the tools to unmask what truly lies beneath the surface, transforming how you perceive your relationships. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button for the Wise Mind channel so you don't miss out on future videos about personal and spiritual growth. Sign number 1, sarcasm and contempt disguised as irony. Hidden hostility doesn't always manifest openly. Some people prefer to express it with sarcastic jokes, backhanded compliments, or biting irony. They'll make fun of things they know are sensitive to you, but when you try to point it out, they hit you with lines like, "Oh, I was just joking, don't be so touchy," or "You can't take a joke." This behavior is super subtle because it leaves you feeling uncomfortable, while they maintain the facade of being harmless. In reality, repeated irony about certain topics is a clear sign of hidden contempt. If their jokes always leave you with a sense of humiliation or belittling, and especially if they keep coming back to the same topics over time, it's not just humor, it's a red flag for repressed hostility. Jung argued that our personal shadow is projected onto others in subtle and sometimes involuntary ways. When someone repeatedly uses irony to attack aspects of your personality, they are actually revealing a part of themselves they can't accept. Sign number 2, subtle sabotage. If someone close to you feels threatened by your success or growth, they might try to sabotage you in subtle ways. Sabotage isn't always obvious and direct. Sometimes it shows up as misleading advice, accidental miscommunications, or small mistakes that, when combined, quietly hinder you from reaching your goals. A friend or family member who forgets to tell you important information, leaves out key details, or inadvertently complicates things for you might not be as absent-minded as they seem. If these incidents keep happening, and consistently at crucial moments, it's time to ask yourself if they are truly coincidental. Observing the consistency of these behaviors helps determine if there's an unconscious desire to sabotage you. Jung explained that when a person lacks the courage to face their own failures, they may unconsciously project their frustration onto others, hindering them to avoid feeling inferior. Sign number 3, silent competition. Some people just can't accept your success without feeling the need to outdo you. Every victory you win is followed by their attempt to shift the focus onto themselves or to downplay your accomplishment. If you share good news instead of a genuine congratulations, they respond with something about themselves. If you tell them about your success, they're quick to say they've achieved something similar or even better. This unspoken competition often springs from deep insecurities. Those who practice it can't tolerate seeing you shine because it questions their own self-esteem. If every conversation with this person feels like a competition, there's likely unexpressed resentment behind it. Jung argued that shadow projection makes people see in others the qualities they can't develop in themselves. That's why those who feel inferior will try to belittle you or compete with you to avoid facing their own feelings of inadequacy. Sign number 4, apparent kindness and superficial support. Those who secretly hate you might mask it with superficial support that's utterly unhelpful. When you actually need help, they minimize your problem or make excuses for not being there. When you achieve success, their enthusiasm is forced or even non-existent. This attitude can be especially clear at key moments in your life. If you notice someone close to you is always unavailable at important times, or reacts indifferently to your achievements, They might not have genuinely positive feelings for you. A true lack of support isn't always easy to spot, but it becomes evident over time by watching their reactions during your moments of triumph or difficulty. Jung spoke of ego dissociation as a mechanism that causes some people to be emotionally disconnected from others. This can translate into coldness and an inability to truly support those around them. Hey, I genuinely hope you're finding this video useful and inspiring. If you are, please don't forget to subscribe to the Wise Mind channel so you don't miss out on any future content. Also, if you want to support our channel and our work, you can leave a donation using the Super Thanks feature below the video. We'd be incredibly grateful. Sign number 5, control disguised as caring. Some people try to dominate your life under the guise of doing it for your own good. They'll tell you what to do, criticize every choice you make, and cast doubt on your ability to decide things for yourself. Their intent isn't to support you, but to make you feel dependent on them. This control can be hard to recognize because it's often wrapped up as loving advice and apparent concern. A key indicator is how they make you feel. If after each piece of advice you feel more insecure instead of more confident, you might be dealing with a form of manipulation. Jung argued that the need to control others stems from a deep fear of internal chaos. People who can't manage their own uncertainty often try to govern the lives of others, precisely to avoid dealing with their own emotional instability. Sign number 6, criticism and gossip. People who harbor negative feelings toward you rarely express them directly. Instead, they prefer to talk about you with others, spreading criticism and distorted information. This behavior is particularly insidious because it affects you indirectly, often without you even realizing it until you feel the consequences. If you notice changes in the attitude of those around you without a clear explanation, if some friends or colleagues start avoiding you or acting colder, it's possible someone is spreading negative information about you. False or exaggerated rumors are a powerful weapon in the hands of those who hold grudges, as they undermine your reputation and gradually isolate your public image. Carl Jung explained that the need to discredit others is often an unconscious attempt to project your own insecurities and frailties onto them. People who feel inferior or dissatisfied try to balance their feelings of inadequacy by casting others in a bad light. In other words, those who speak badly of you are probably revealing more about themselves than about you. Sign number 7, resentment towards your success/lack of joy in your achievements. People who genuinely care about you are happy when you hit a milestone. They support you in tough times, but also celebrate your victories, seeing your success as something positive and rewarding. On the other hand, those who hold grudges against you really struggle to hide their annoyance. You can spot them by their cold reactions, sudden changes of subject, or outright attempts to downplay your achievements. If you share an accomplishment and they respond with a detached, "Oh, that's great," or immediately shift the focus back onto themselves, they might be experiencing envy or poorly managed competition. Jung explained that the inability to rejoice for others reveals an unresolved internal conflict, where the success of others becomes a stark reminder of one's own shortcomings. This happens because seeing you achieve what you want highlights what they haven't been able to achieve. People who feel this way often try to minimize your achievements with phrases like, "Well, it's not that important," or "I did something similar a while ago," or "You should have done better." These words aren't just opinions, they're clear signs of latent impatience. If you notice someone around you has a hard time celebrating your victories and shows signs of annoyance instead of happiness, it's very likely that deep down they feel something very different from what they show. And now for the most insidious sign of all. Sign number 8, hidden details and nonverbal language. Hidden hatred often manifests itself in the most subtle details. It's expressed not with words, but with involuntary attitudes and signals. A glance that escapes at the wrong moment, a forced smile, a sudden change of expression, or a tense silence can say much more than 1,000 words. Many people try to mask their feelings, but the body always betrays the deepest emotions. If someone pretends to appreciate you but feels hostility towards you, you'll notice it in subtle gestures. Their hands might stiffen when you talk about a success. Their tone of voice changes slightly when they give you a compliment, or they avoid eye contact at certain moments. Jung argued that the body and the unconscious never lie. Even when someone tries to hide their feelings, nonverbal language always betrays them because the conscious mind can put up a mask, but the body responds to real emotions. If you sense tension, discomfort, or coldness from a person, trust your instincts. You might have picked up a signal that your conscious mind has trouble rationalizing. Recognizing these signals requires attention and sensitivity. Words can be deceptive, but body language and small details always reveal the truth. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this video, please subscribe to Wise Mind channel, give it a like, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss new content that supports your growth and soul's journey. Your presence makes all the difference. Welcome to the community.